An American journalist reports a case of replacing Biden in the US elections and that the USA and Russia had secret negotiations on Ukraine. Putin said he's ready for dialogue with the US, but only on all issues. Ukrainian government no longer has a say in anything, he says. The American journalist Seymour Hersh, known for his investigation into the blowing up of the Nord Stream natural gas pipeline, published material in which he touched on the issue of Ukraine and the presidential elections in the US. According to his media reports, he revealed that in fact there is a trend among the Democrats for a possible change of Biden as a candidate for the presidency of the USA due to his old age, while the biggest surprise is that there is a bloc of politicians who want the war in Ukraine to end, since it costs very much for the American economy. According to the journalist, secret negotiations were held between Washington and Moscow regarding the situation around Ukraine. The two sides discussed possible concessions they were prepared to make. At the same time, from both sides, it means that Russia and the West are declaring that Kiev no longer decides anything. It's clear that the highly classified negotiation between Russia and the West did not lead to consensus, Hersh said. And in his opinion, this was confirmed by Putin's brutal statement in which he named the conditions for ending the conflict. In addition, he cited an unnamed senior U.S. official who told him that, quote, given Russia's human and material resources, Ukraine should not expect significant success on the battlefield. Despite this, the president of the USA continues to follow his policy in Ukraine firmly, end quote. And Hersh wrote, Biden's foreign policy is a disaster, yet he continues to pour billions of dollars into Ukraine and wants the same from his NATO allies. The journalist noted that the situation in Ukraine and the foreign policy of the Biden administration in general will greatly affect the election campaign in the United States. He believes that the Democrats will still decide to replace the Biden candidacy in the presidential election with a younger candidate. In general, the general of the U.S. Army, Jack Keane, told an American channel, at the Institute for the Study of War, we believe that such a threat has not been seen since World War II. Why? Because we may be involved in many wars on many fronts. This is a real problem we face, he said. The Russian president opened his papers on Ukraine and developments are expected. Putin said, we are ready for dialogue with the United States, but only in total, Peskov said. It's impossible to remove individual parts from the general complex of problems. We're open to dialogue, but a dialogue of a broad complex that will cover all dimensions, including those related to Ukraine and the involvement of the U.S. in it, said the spokesman of the Russian presidency. As Dmitry Peskov noted, in general, the dialogue is requested since it is necessary because problems are accumulating, including security problems. Russia will have problems if it does not win this war with the U.S. and NATO, Russian sources emphasize. Viktor Orban of Hungary says they are paranoid in the West because they want to defeat Russia. The current situation is that the Western world, led by Americans along with Germany and Britain, want to defeat Russia. They want to defeat Russia without engaging in the direct war with Russia, but through the Ukrainians. The West wants to win, but I think it's hopeless. Western countries are getting closer and closer to the front and are getting more and more directly involved in this war. There is a minimum target that has been met. The European train is headed for war. If our government, supported by the people in the European Parliament elections, presses the stop valve, the train will stop and the Hungarians will be able to get off, he said. If the stars align well, you will be able to convince the driver and no one will move on, Viktor Orban said recently. Some show that they wish for a world war on our planet, and some, citing logic, try to reconcile the situation between the US and Russia and also China. And who will prevail in the end, we'll see soon, very soon. in the American elections. This is from Pentapostagma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.